It is Monday, February 14th in the NBA, and I'm back with my 4 best picks of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Let's do a quick recap from yesterday. We only had one official play and one official winner, as Tyrese Halliburton easily cashes every single one of his props easily in the third quarter, moving us to 8-2 over the last 3 days. And our NFL plays for the Super Bowl, not too shabby, 2-2, but so profitable with the plus 140 cash. Now, if you are new to the Calling Our Shot channel, we appreciate you for coming out and watching the video. We do these every single day. And if you want to click that subscribe button down below, we'd really appreciate it. We are less than 100 subscribers away from 24,000. So we appreciate all the new people joining the community. And if we hit that 24,000 today, tomorrow we'll do a parlay giveaway of some sort. So make sure you go down below, click that subscribe button. Also, my one last note before the All-Star break, because we only have 4 more days before the All-Star break, I got to give the COS All-Stars a big shout out. Our new All-Stars, Thomas, Allen, Rich, Mac, Nick, and Vontae. We appreciate all 5 of you guys for joining the community, joining that All-Star program. If you're like, what's a COS All-Star? I know I've said it the past couple videos. That's our YouTube membership. It only costs $2.99 a month. You get a couple cool perks. One, you get to show your appreciation for all the work I do every single morning. Because all the works in the videos are completely free, but if you want to show your support, we'd appreciate it. Number 2, you get all the plays an hour early from the video. I know sometimes we see some line movement. We'll likely see line movement today. So you get all the plays an hour early. And then number 3, you get some cool emojis. And number 4, I'll shout your name out in the video. So definitely, if you want to become an All-Star, I think we're about 34 away from 200 COS All-Stars. We'd appreciate it. Go to click the join button next to the channel name, or click the link in the description that says become a COS All-Star today. So without further ado, it's Valentine's Day. Let's hop into the video. And while I want to go for guys like Josh Hart or Sadiq Bey, I'm not going to do that today. We'll go for different guys. But joking aside, here's my best bet of the day. It's a guy that, I don't know if we even need to say his name, but DeJounte Murray over 39.5 PRAs, minus 115 on Caesars. I like this all the way up to about 41.5. So if the line changes, don't mind it. 41.5, completely playable. I'm just taking the best line on Caesars right now. Now, there's few people in the world we can trust, and DeJounte Murray is one of them. Darius Garland's probably the other, and maybe another guy later on in the video. But look, this is the guy in Murray that one can hit a triple-double every single night. If you want the individual stat for him, I take his assist line, but still, he can hit a triple-double every single night. This is how good the guy is. Now, why the line continues to be low, disrespectful, I don't know. Now, it could be the return, and we'll talk about him in a second. Now, the main reason we've been targeting this the last 2 games, well, Derek White has been traded, now Boston Celtics. And as Boston Celtics, you've seen the last 2 games. Now, Murray has averaged 13.5 assists per game over these last 2 games and 24 assist chances, which is why I said target his assist line if you want just one specific prop. Now, in the last 4 games without Derek White, 50, 57, 52, and 53 PRAs, absolutely crushing the line. Now, today is worth noting, now they did trade away White, and so they got back Romeo Langford and Josh Richardson. Both guys should be active today for the first time, but I don't really envision those guys taking a lot of shot volume away from DeJounte Murray. He's been one of the best. He's a first-time NBA All-Star. He's going to continue to play pretty well. The last 2 games, it's not like he's been playing a ton of minutes, only 35 and 32 minutes, right around his 34.4 minutes per game average. I don't see him losing a lot of playing time to either of those 2 guys, and today they're taking on the Bulls, and I don't need to say this, and Bulls fans, you already know this. Your defense stinks. You guys don't play a lick of defense without Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball. Obviously, Patrick Williams, the first-round pick from last year, is out, and you might get Derrick Jones Jr. back, but Derrick Jones Jr. can't guard all 5 positions, and I doubt he guards DeJounte Murray today. Now, we saw these 2 teams just play about 2 weeks ago, January 28th. You saw that was a game Derek White was active in. Murray, 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists for 50 PRAs on the dot. Now, he's been aggressive attacking the rim, but obviously Vucevic doesn't play a whole lot of defense, and over the last 30 games, Bulls have allowed the 4th most points per game and the 3rd most assists per game to opposing point guards. That obviously is the position that Murray plays. Over-under set at 234 points. It's a good reason. Both these 2 teams play a lot of pace, and so I'll trust with Murray. He's one of the only guys we can trust. It's Valentine's Day. We love him, and so we're going to count on him again. He's a guy capable of putting up a triple-double every single night, and so give me DeJounte Murray as the best bet of the day, over 39.5 PRAs. Like I said, I like it up to 41.5, so don't go down below asking, do you like it at 41.5, because I'll slap you in the face. Now, let's move to the biggest game of the evening, though, the next player prop. Man, everyone's going to be clicking the channels to watch this game. The Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New York Knicks. This is a primetime showdown of 2 great programs, great basketball teams, and here we are, Julius Randle over 40.5 PRAs, minus 115 on points bet. Now, I'd also play this at 41.5, just like DeJounte Murray. And look, Randle, he cashed for us the last game when they played the Portland Trail Blazers, easily cashing his points over. And what he cashed easier, His PRA line, because he had 16 rebounds and 6 assists for a combined 50 PRAs. He didn't even shoot the ball well, 8 for 20 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. He just lived at the free throw line, I think 14 free throw attempts, and that was a game the Knicks blew the lead. And I turned the game off after they were up 16 to 20 points. I came back to see, what the heck, the Knicks lost because they were up about 20. And no, they lost the game outright. But look, you look at the last 5 games for Mr. Julius Randle, 50, 51, 44, 41, and 55 PRAs. The guy's been an absolute menace. And the 41 PRAs might be a little concerning for people that might just get, his 41.5 line. But that was a game he had 6 rebounds and 5 assists. If that happens again, it would be very odd. And the reason we like it is because I look at this Blazers team and the team they played today, the Thunder, very similar. They don't have guys that can guard Julius Randle. Now, they can put Darius Bazley on him, but personally, he's just too small. Julius Randle's just going to play bully ball. Put Isaiah Roby on him, same thing. Kenrich Williams, same thing. You just see Julius Randle attacking the rim, which is what we want. We don't want Julius Randle settle in for threes. He settled for threes last game. Yeah, the last 2 games, he's been 0 for 7 from the three-point line. So hopefully they tell him, stop shooting threes, go attack the rim. And if he does somehow hit a 3, this bets it should be an easy winner because Julius Randle will be filling himself. Now, the New York Knicks did play the Thunder last season. Julius Randle didn't have a great game. Only 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 12 assists for 50 PRAs and a triple-double. Not too shabby. Now, he wasn't even the leading scorer for the Knicks with 26 points. That was R.J. Barrett, who scored 32 points. Sadly, R.J. Barrett is again out today. Mitchell Robinson, also questionable with an ankle injury. He got injured last game. He wasn't supposed to come back. Then they chucked him back out there. Who knows if he plays today. Nerlens Noel, also questionable. Cam Reddish, the same. Derrick Rose, obviously still out. So they got a lot of guys that, if they are out, that can make this a whole lot easier. We could see Julius Randle at center or Julius Randle with Taj Gibson on the court. Could see him be the primary rebounder for this Knicks team. Randle's been very active, leading this team with energy, and they lost yesterday, or lost 2 games ago, or 2 days ago, and they really choked that game. So I think Randle will come out and lead by example. He's been pretty active. He knows the Knicks are committed to him, despite him being in trade rumors or on the trade deadline. He knows the Knicks are at least committed to him till the offseason. He's going to keep playing. Knicks are 8-point favorites. I don't necessarily know if they cover that against the Thunder, but still, Tom Thibodeau runs his guys into the ground. Wouldn't be surprised to see Randle play 36 to 42-ish minutes today. I think he has a pretty good game. So we'll take his over 40.5 PRAs, like it up to 41.5. Now, I interrupt this broadcast to give you my favorite spread pick lean of the day. I say lean because you guys don't know I don't like betting a lot of spreads, but if I were to bet one, I'd bet Raptors -4.5. They're coming off a loss to the Nuggets by 1 point. Nikola Jokic blocked them at the end of regulation, but still, I'd lean them. Do what you want with it. I'm not going to count it towards my record, win or loss. Now, we have cashed the last couple spread leans, though, so do what you want with it. Now, let's go back to that. Let's go to my last 2 plays of this game, and then we'll hit at the 5th one that we might add after the video. Also, follow us on social media down below if you aren't already. And we're going back to this Raptors-Pelicans game. I'm taking Fred VanVleet over 19.5 points, -115 on DraftKings. A little concerned why this line is so low. It's a little bit suspicious, as VanVleet has hit this over in 6 straight games with 25, 20, or 21, 20, 26, 21, and 21 points. So maybe it's because he's just barely going over, but I don't care because VanVleet's been, one, he's a first-time All-Star, and 2, he's been knocking down threes at a ridiculous rate. So consider his over 4.5 threes at +166 value. Now, you look at the last 4 games, his shot volume necessarily hasn't been the greatest over the past couple games, or he's hit 5+ threes in the last 4 games. Now, his shot volume, he's only had 14 shots in 2 of the last 3 games, but I just think he's got the best matchup here. Now, you look at Herb Jones, who will be guarding Siakam on the Pelicans. Let's be honest. Herb Jones is the only guy, and I mean this with every bone in my body. Herb Jones is the only guy in that starting lineup that plays defense for the Pelicans. Jonas Valanciunas doesn't play defense. Unless you consider fouling defense, then I guess he's the best defender in the NBA. Brandon Ingram, he stands there. He at least tries a little. He's going to give you a late contest every now and then. Say, hey, I tried. Sorry. And then you look at CJ McCollum. He doesn't get paid to play defense. He's never a good defender with the Blazers. And then you got the guy that will guard VanVleet most likely, Devontae Graham. And no offense to Graham, he's short. He's not going to be. He's not a good defender. He's very bad. Now in the 2 games since McCollum joined, they've given up 112 points to the Miami Heat, one of the slowest playing teams in the NBA. Gave up 124 to the Spurs. You look at the Raptors, a very fast playing team. Now I do think Siakam, Gary Trent Jr., maybe Scotty Barnes, and OG Anunoby have good games, but I think VanVleet is the guy that's going to have the ball in his hands a lot of the game. He's averaged 21.6 points per game on the season. Why this line's below his average, I don't know. His last 2 games versus the Pelicans, he scored 32 and 27 points, 32 coming about a month ago. Look, it's a clear mismatch, but I think VanVleet takes clear advantage of it. The 32 points was without Gary Trent Jr., but look, I still think VanVleet has a great game, 20 points, not asking for a lot. So take Fred VanVleet over 19.5 points. Now, moving on to my last play of the video, and I'll hit at my fifth one, which we'll add one more after the video on Twitter. We'll add it in the comments down below. It's Fred VanVleet's old teammate, DeMar DeRozan, over 31.5 points, minus 115 on DraftKings. You guys know I don't like playing a lot of plays in the same game, but we do have DeRozan taking on DeJounte Murray. I think that game remains close. Now, hopefully it's not a blowout, but because then we might be burning on both of them. But look, you could do DeRozan's PRA line if you really want to. It's like 43.5, but I don't see DeRozan getting that if he's not scoring 31.5, over 31.5 points, in my opinion. He's not getting there. And speaking of being on fire, DeMar DeRozan's about the hottest guy in the NBA. Pause. He scored over his last 5 games 38, 35, 36, 38, and 45 points. Not even coming close to this line. He's been absolutely scorching, shooting the ball super well. He's the guy that's known to get to the free throw line, averaging 8 free throws a game, third most in the league. And Zach LaVine's also out today, who's going back to, I see it, a knee specialist or something like that. I think he's out the next 2 games. Now, that's going to lead the ball even more into DeRozan's hands. Maybe even Ayo Dosunmu has a pretty good assisting game as well. But look, these teams just played a couple games ago, about 17 days ago, like we talked about with Murray. And DeRozan, 32 points, hitting this over. That was a game Zach LaVine played, attempted 23 shots, and scored 30 points himself. So he had himself a game. Well, sorry, bud, you're not here. The over-under, like I said, is 234 from earlier. DeRozan's been on a crazy hot streak, and this is his first chance at potentially even being in the conversation of the MVP trophy. So I think he's going to continue it over 31.5 points. I think he can get that done. He's going to shoot the ball a lot against the Spurs team, and I think he scores pretty much. And they're not winning this game if he's not scoring at will. And you obviously know with DeRozan, he's like the king of the fourth quarter. If we only need 10 points, I have confidence in him to get those 10 points in the fourth quarter. I think he should be filling up against the Spurs team that, like I said, plays fast, doesn't play a ton of defense. I think we should see DeMar DeRozan over 31.5 points cashing for us. So that's going to do it. Those are my 4 official plays. Now, if I want to add a 5th play, I've looked at De'Aaron Fox's point line. Pretty good matchup against the Nets. And then obviously the new Brooklyn net, Andre Drummond. Consider his line if he does start. Also maybe a Nikola Jokic rebound prop versus the Magic. Now, there's a lot to like today. Don't force a lot of plays today. We have those 4 plays. We'll add a 5th down below on Twitter and in the comment section down below. So definitely go check it out. Go become a COS All-Star today. Only 34 All-Stars away from 200. So we appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.